call Tuesday, May the 11th, 2010, Transportation Committee meeting to order. Roll call, Councilman Kluwat and Councilman Todd Lambert are absent. Mr. Lord, would you please lead us in the invocation, followed by the pledge?
Dear Lord, as we gather tonight, we just ask that you bless the Damon Bro family who recently experienced a death in the family. We just want to ask you to be with them and be with everyone who's lost a family member out on the roads. We ask that you be with drivers as they navigate the roadways, and we ask that you be with us tonight as we make decisions affecting traffic and people's safety. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Anyone wishing to speak on any agenda topic, please sign in with Ms. Liz. We'll go into number 2, the public comment. I'd like to add in Ms. Marion Lejeune. Would you please come up? Ms. Lejeune wants to give a thanks for the Roddy Road.
Yes, like I was saying, it was a beautiful day for the cutting of the ribbon on Roddy Road last week. Praise God and thank you, Jesus. But like I said, I had thanked President Tommy and all the transportation councilmen. I'm sorry y'all couldn't make it. Thanks to Bob Turner and the new PWD, Ronnie Richfield. They all have gone forward asking for this road project. We now have a wider road and a turning lane. But a very thanks to our chief engineer, like we all know, Miss Jackie, beautiful Miss Jackie, who has kept us all informed at the monthly transportation meetings. And we returned Astor's Memorial Cross with some new flowers. And this cross will be a reminder for all of us. Thank you, and thank you again.
Thank you.
God bless. Thank you, ma'am. We're going to move into number 3, Road Department monthly update. Ms. Jackie?
For our summary from the month of April, DPW completed a total of 187 work orders, cleaned 3,835 feet of culverts, cleaned 22,480 feet of ditches, cut 190 miles of roadway, and sprayed 194 miles of roadway. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those.
Any comments for Ms. Jackie on the monthly report? We'll move into number 4, road project status update. Ms. Jackie?
On our parish projects, West Worthy Road widening, those plans will be advertised this month in May for the widening and reconstruction from the city limits to Boudreaux. The Roddy Road widening, right-of-way acquisition is at that 82% complete still. We have those last 3 parcels for expropriation, which that process has been started. Our 2 maintenance projects, the council, you guys awarded the projects on May 6th. We expect construction activities to begin in June. As Ms. Marion mentioned, our Roddy Road at Airline project is complete. We're really excited to have that done. And our other 2 turn lane projects, Airline at 621 and Airline at 929, we're preparing those plans for advertisement. Those 4 parcels, as we informed last month, we finished acquisition and negotiation on. For the 932 at 933 improvements, I actually have some new information that I got today that's not on here. There's 2 parcels for acquisition. One, negotiation efforts have not been successful, and that parcel will have to go to expropriation. The second parcel, the appraiser has been asked to estimate mobile home relocation. So we're still trying to work with that second parcel, but we're still in the right-of-way acquisition phase on that job. Cannon Road, the drainage design is underway with Clint in our in-house staff. And Parker at 929, the roundabout, we have later on in the agenda to discuss additional information on. For our state projects, LA 932 Mill and Overlay, that is the portion of state road that we are going to transfer ownership from the state to us. They are planning to let that mill and overlay in June, which was part of our agreement before assuming ownership. For the LA 431 roundabout, that's at LA 42. They're ahead of schedule. They completed the survey work and they've begun design work within DOTD. LA 73 Mill and Overlay from Bayou Manchac to Airline, they expect that job to begin construction in June. That's the latest information I got from DOTD. And on the bottom, the list of projects for the next 6 months, the one project I really want to mention, the LA 73 widening from I-10 to Airline, DOTD has pushed that project back to June of 2011. And what I've been told is right-of-way acquisition and right-of-way maps weren't done in their original timeline. It didn't just fit the timeline, and right-of-way is the holdup on that job. So I just wanted to let you know that's the only one in that list that has changed timing based on last month's report. And that concludes my report. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Ms. Jackie? Just one question on it, on Highway 73, Ms. Jackie. This is strictly with right-of-way. It has nothing to do with the parish.
That is correct.
Okay.
The sewer plans, the sewer portion of those plans are within the set of 90% plans that I have in my office, and we had our specs done. We have them in the plans. Right-of-way acquisition originally was a handful of parcels, and then it escalated to 20-something parcels, I believe. And their project manager, Jeff Burst, informed me that's the holdup on the job. It's not on our end.
Thank you. Any other questions for Ms. Jackie on this? Now we move to number 5, discussion of Parker Road. Ms. Jackie.
I've included an aerial in here. It's the last page of this little set, and it'll show you 3 colored lines. Those are our 3 problematic pipelines. The orange line furthest to the right upper corner is the Marathon pipeline estimated. The 2 red lines with yellow portions are the Shell pipelines. I just wanted this to be included so you could understand that those pipelines are obviously our constraint, and those little yellow circles are vents that stick out of the ground. So when we move the roundabout, we still have to avoid those vents. What we did, we met with the engineer, Buchard Horn, and discussed, can we shift it and avoid the pipeline? Well, based on just an aerial, it appears we can avoid Marathon, but we still have to, in some way, shape, or form, address the Shell pipeline situation. What I've done in this summary is showed you our original total and then given you an estimate, and this is a really, really rough estimate, based on additional right-of-way and if we were to encounter another Shell vent. Now, my suggestion to move forward, if we would like to move forward with this, for me to properly answer the question of can we avoid Shell, we would need to do the survey and the 30% plans. So I received proposals on both of those, and it's $15,225 for survey and $32,266 for 30% plans. That investment would get us obviously to 30% plans, but would also guarantee, yes, we're missing Marathon, yes, we can avoid these vents. So that's the crossroads that we're at. I still feel strongly this is a good project to improve safety, and if we decide to go the other route and not do the project, we can't move the funds to another location. So that's not an option to move funds. So we're at that crossroad of, do we spend the $47,491 to do the next phase? And then I can tell you definitely, yes, this is what we have to buy in right away, and this is what impacts on pipelines.
Councilman Lord.
I'll make a motion, we proceed.
Motion by Councilman Lord to proceed to the 30% design. on the Park Road roundabout.
It was budgeted.
Second.
Second by Councilman Joseph. Discussion. None motion passed. Number 6, discussion of speed cushion on Ticky DePlessis Road. We have some speakers on this item. Ms. Margaret Lee, please come up.
Good evening, council members and parish administration. I live in the Bayou Grand North subdivision. It runs parallel with Tiggy DuPlessis Road. I live there with my husband, my 6-year-old grandson, and my 76-year-old mother-in-law. My mother and my son live nearby down Tiggy DuPlessis Road. In January 2010, a petition by area residents was submitted to Ascension Parish Department of Public Works Director and Chief of Staff stating that the majority of area residents oppose the speed cushions on Tiggy DePlessis Road. The parish handled this petition by advising that they will lower the speed limit and install extra warning signs. Please consider the following. This is from research I've done. With only 300 cars per day, the roadway is no longer eligible for speed bumps, according to the parish criteria. Research shows that speed bumps cause serious damage to vehicles, school buses, delivery trucks. It's hard on vehicle suspension, exhaust systems, and brakes. It increases fuel consumption. The unnecessary slowing and accelerating causes increased air pollution. Drivers avoid speed bumps by going on neighboring streets and driving on the shoulder, destroying the road. Most speed bumps are placed in parking lots and on city streets. Tiggy DePlessis is not in a city limits. If any of this type road, it causes physical discomfort, even pain for disabled persons and persons with physical ailments. Being jolted can be painful for persons with injuries and painful illnesses. It creates problems for Public Works Department, road maintenance crews, and delivery services. And accidents caused by the speed bumps or the roadway, deteriorating roadway, can cause the parish to be liable for accidents. We ask the parish to please define the process for getting an item on the appropriate agenda of the 8 council member only committees. It took us 5 months to get our petition from the citizens brought to this council concerning the unsafe road condition, the damage to vehicles, the pass-through traffic, and other speed bump issues. In March, the parish received a request to add more speed bumps at the end of the roadway near Highway 621. During that time, someone put out traffic counters through our neighborhoods, but nobody knows who put them out. The parish has determined that the 58 mailing addresses on Tiggy DePlessis Road would have to have the majority of the vote. We propose the majority of the vote come from the entire area that is impacted by the speed bumps with assistance from the parish to survey those. We ask that you find some other way to manage the traffic that flows through there as a cutoff and send them back to the main arteries of Highway 73, Highway 621, and Airline Highway. There is also, I might mention, a Children at Play sign near Highway 621 on this road. It is not for pedestrians, it is not for bike riders, much less vehicles, because it has no shoulders and the roads are deteriorated. I also sent you pictures. Each of the Transportation Committee members received pictures of the roadway, photographs that I took of the deteriorating condition of the roadway that we would like addressed. If you need to post some weight limits, if you need to put those speed bumps on Duplessis so they don't come down Airline, there's a lot of things that can be done. We ask you to really study this and look at this. Thank you very much.
Next speaker is Matt Stalford.
Good afternoon. I've lived at 14533 Tiggy DePlessis Road for 34 years, and I used to go down that road as a kid, ride a bus to Dutchtown when it was gravel. I lived on DePlessis right behind the graveyard, so familiar with the area. My wife's vehicle, mine, I own several big trucks. My son-in-law and my daughter live on the same piece of property. Another daughter lives on the same piece of property, and we all go down ticketed places. All of us are experiencing what I call wobbling in the front end from the cushions that are just, I don't see why they're really needed. I think I call some officers that I know pretty regular to get them to set up radar to stop people from speeding. And I think that's what we need to do more than the cushions. The radar doesn't affect the front end alignments on cars, and cars will almost hit each other light to light trying to stay centered on the road. And I've seen it many times. Coming in at night, you can't even tell where the bumps are with a car coming at you. It's very unsafe, and I think they need to be done away with. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker is Mr. Keith Smith.
Good evening. My name is Keith Smith, and I've lived at Tiggy Duplessis and Duplessis Road for only 5 years. Me and my family, when they were doing the construction there, we requested that they put more stop signs, because they only had one stop sign on Tiggy Duplessis, none on Duplessis Road. And at that time, when y'all were doing the expansion on that roadway, we requested that they put more stop signs and more speed bumps. I own 4 vehicles, one of them a company vehicle, and I'd experienced no abnormalities to the vehicles. I experienced no damage to any cars. As far as the injuries, people saying going fast and, or driving down the road hurting themselves, I can tell you this, when we first moved there, I assisted with 4 crashes at that intersection, overturned vehicle, and it wasn't because of the speed bumps, it was because people speed down that road, they drive reckless, and they drink. And all those 3 factors combining in them and by themselves are the reasons that people have wrecks on that highway. It's not from them speed bumps. Them speed bumps have reduced the traffic down there. Any given time in the afternoon, me and my wife would sit there on that porch, and we'd see 9 or 10 cars. Every single one of them almost would run that stop sign because they didn't want to wait. Most of the people that are running them stop signs and driving crazy are the people that don't live there. They live in other neighborhoods, Cross Airline, Germany Road. The people that live there obey the speed laws, and we have kids there, and they've ran off the road, flipped upside down. And I am a law enforcement officer, but I'm not here representing them. And I do know that it has nothing to do with those speed bumps. And at Ascension Parish, I also talked to a few of those gentlemen, and they do a wonderful job, but you can't sit at that intersection 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. You're going to sit there, they're going to speed on 621 or 73. The people that don't live there, if they want to go faster, go down 621, go Airline, go I-10, where you can go faster if you want to get to. My suggestion is get up early, slow down, and obey the speed bumps and add more. And it doesn't cause damage to vehicles, because I got 5 of them, and I experienced no front end alignments and do it all the time. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Next speaker is Todd Hughes.
Good evening. My name is Todd Husers. I've lived on Tiggy Duplessis Road for about 8 years now. I have 4 kids, and 3 of them are here with me tonight. I enjoy living on that road. The thing that scares me the most is the high speed of traffic. Whether you control it with speed cushions, radar detector, whatever has to be done, I think we need to look at either keeping the cushions or increasing enforcement. I've heard that the average speed before the cushions was close to 60 miles an hour. I don't know if that's true or not. You guys have that information. This is a very, very narrow road. And I've had yard men quit because they're afraid that a car is going to hit them while he's cutting my grass near Tiggy Duplessis Road. It's very, very dangerous. And, the man who that road was named after was killed on that road before the speed cushions were put in while checking his mail after 4:30 Mass. I love the speed cushions. I think if you ask most of the residents on Tiggy Duplessis Road, most of them would chip in to put more. I'd love to have some right in front of my house, because if they're going south on Tiggy Duplessis Road, as soon as they hit that last cushion, they're taking off again. So maybe I can put an item on an agenda in the future. Let's put more of them. I have some kids that go to St. John Primary. I have some that go to St. Teresa. I cross those speed cushions 3 times before 8 o'clock every morning. I got no problems with my truck. If you have problems with your truck because of the cushions, everybody, including myself on Tiggy Duplessis Road, would appreciate you slowing down for the cushions. I love them. Thank you for putting them. Whatever you need me to do to get more, I will do. Thank you.
Next speaker is Michael Graham.
Good evening, gentlemen. My family lived on Oak Meadow since about 1986, and it's a road parallel to Tiggy Duplessis. I have no problem with the speed bumps, but the one I do where a perpendicular road comes into it and it's like 10 feet short of a stop sign, and when you're trying to make the turn, you got people coming out and then you got one coming the other way. That right there, I kind of see as a problem. The only other thing is, like I said, Tiggy Duplessis is a narrow road. It's uneven. It's got some bad spots in it. If your tire grabs it, it's going to throw you pretty much into the shoulder of, which there isn't. So, I think there are other things that can be done. Now, also, traffic has been diverted down my road. It's a residential trailer park, kids walking and talking, and they're doing 50 miles an hour easy just to pass up 2 speed bumps to come out, hit the one on the corner, and then zip past it. Another one they just. So it's a good thing, but then I think there's other things that can be done to help fix the problem as well. Thank you.
Okay, the next speaker is Mike Wilson.
Good evening, council members. I'm Mike Wilson. I live at 14485 Tiggy Duplessis. I've only been there a couple of years, going on a couple of years. I'm for the speed bumps. I just would like to reiterate a lot of what my people on the same side of the issue have said. I would like to point out 2 things. The problem with the traffic count is you're seeing the traffic as it's been reduced by the speed cushion, obviously. So if it's less than 300 now, you move the cushions, it could be 500, 600. It is known in the area as a cut through, and it's because of the geography, because Duplessis gets so bad between Tiggy Duplessis and 73. So people do tend to turn down that road. The other problem with petitions is you don't ever see the other side. Obviously, you get a petition, you see who's for that issue, but not who's against. I do support the council's position on the residents of that street, though, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, that was the end of the speakers. Any comments from staff?
Just want to give a little information on how and why we have speed cushions on Tiggy Duplessis, also Cobblestone and Southwood Village Avenue. As we all know, a grant was received and certain criteria had to be met on roads. Let's see, this is the guidelines that we use for application and design of speed hump by the Institute of Transportation Engineers. We used their criteria on everything. Everything was done properly. Traffic Solutions, Common Solutions, we use their product. They use all over the country. This is the first request we had, which was 15 rows was surveyed, and we had 3 rows that were warranted, 4 cushions. All the criteria. I want you to notice. Y'all had this package with y'all. Tiggy Duplessis had an average of daily traffic of 1,874 vehicles. Southwood Village, which was over 2,200. I have from here. I received all the from the manufacturer. We have from the U.S. Department of Transportation, Federal Highway Administration, World Report on the road traffic, and various other organizations that wholly support traffic common solutions. I have a police report from Ascension Parish Sheriff's Office for crashes on Tiggy Duplessis. That's a 10-year report. Notice down, cushions were installed in August of '08. You look at '09 and '10, big reduction in crashes, accidents, and tickets. On the next line is the tickets. It goes to '09. We had one accident and one ticket in '09. I also have a letter here. He wasn't supposed to be here, but Mr. Baclaw with the Ascension Parish Sheriff's Office here in support of us. I have his letter here, and if he wants to say something, be proud. I also have here, this is our latest traffic survey, which was done started on the 19th of last month for 7 days. I have it highlighted. One day, on average, 1,400 cars per day, not 300. Gets on up into, one day was 1,600, so it's over 1,400 cars per day, still traveling the road. Notice it's about a 400 car reduction since we first done the survey. And as mentioned before, there are 58 residents, mailing addresses on Tiggity, and only I received the petition in January, and 11 residents signed a petition that live on Tiggy itself, and 5 of them want them removed. I have a letter here that I sent to Mr. Martin, who sent me the petition. I sent it to him in February with after reviewing all the results that I had, and my last line said, "We're sorry for the inconvenience of having to travel at a slow speed, but in the best interest of safety, I see no reason to have them removed." And DPW stands by that still today. Thank you.
Thank you, Ronnie. Any other comments? Councilman Law? Come sign in, man. Okay.
Good evening.
Go ahead, Christine Smith.
Good evening. I just want to say, a possible solution, like the gentleman alluded to, that for that one speed bump that's close to the stop signs. I mean, close to that intersection that comes into Tiggy by the trailer court. If maybe they could put stop signs there, and remove that speed bump and put a 3-way stop there, that might help the traffic. You know, alluding to that one speed bump that is kind of dangerous right there. The rest of the speed bumps, we love them, and I just want to know, people that are complaining about speed bumps, going over speed bumps, how do they get over the railroad tracks? Because we have all railroad tracks. I mean, we can't remove the railroad tracks. So just wanted to put that comment in. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Councilman Law?
I just wanted to say, I mean, the data says volumes to me in studying this. I mean, as Mr. Fairchild said, I mean, the number of tickets even went down from, 30s and 40s, 50 even one year, down to 1 in a single year that we've had the cushions. So you can't radar everywhere all the time, and I can't tell you how often I get calls from constituents who are concerned about speeding, and I hate the fact that I have to tell them that this was limited grant funding. I can't help them get a speed cushion because we have extremely limited road funds as it is, and we're trying to spend all of our money there. And so if we had additional grants and we were able to get additional cushions, I'm all in favor of that. If this is only a problem really for people who are speeding and thereby breaking the law. So it's, to me, they're cushions, they're not bumps, as people have said. If you've driven over them and seen them, they're not, in any way obtrusive. They're designed according to engineering standards that have been, nationwide accepted. And I just think they're good things, and I'm going to go ahead and make a motion that we keep them.
Before we go to your motion, Mr. Bacala, you had something?
No, I was asked to come tonight, so I wanted to make sure I stood up and asked Mr. Martinez, President Martinez asked to be here, and Mr. Fairchild, if y'all have questions, anything you need to clarify as far as the information that was provided in his study and survey. If you don't, I think, I think it sort of speaks for itself, but if you have questions about those enforcement actions, I can certainly answer those.
Councilman Law?
I'm sorry, it's not for Mr. Bacala. I appreciate your comment. It's one other thing, and it was, Ronnie, as far as the comments about visibility at night and everything, I haven't actually driven over them at night. The signs that were put up, are they highly reflective, or is there anything, we need to do as far as that goes, or like a warning light or something like that? I mean, I'm all in favor of making sure people are aware that it's coming, but I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
We can install those flashing yellow warning solar on the cushion ahead warning sign.
Okay, good.
Anything else? Thank you for coming, Tony. Appreciate you. Motion was made by Councilman Law to continue the speed cushions.
I'll second it with a question.
Second by Councilman Joseph. Question, go ahead.
Ms. Jenkins, I know because we got that grant and to eliminate these problems, I know we're going to be bringing this up on the 75%. The only question I had on that grant, was there a requirement that 75% of the residents of that on that road, street, had to sign a petition or anything, or we just base it DPW based on the grant requirement? That's the way we chose that road.
The grant didn't require a petition. The procedures didn't say 75% at the time. It just said majority or HOA, like if there was a homeowners association, if they got their subdivision together and they represented majority. The situation here was there wasn't an HOA. There's not a organized homeowners association.
Okay. I mean,
If that helps answer the question, I'm not sure.
Well,
But the grant didn't require
You did
it.
answer the question for me, because it didn't say anything like that, and our rule's different. And I fully support these speed, what would you want to call them, speed bumps, speed cushion. Just like Councilman Chris Law. I get that phone call just about every week or every month. And I'm sorry, we just don't have the resources. And most of my streets on the other side of the river are narrow streets, very narrow street. I mean, 10 foot. Some of them, that's the narrow one. But they want speed cushion on it. And once again, we just caught in a situation we can't provide that service to everyone. And that's the only comment.
Any other discussion? None, motion passed. Number 7, adoption of policy. Ms. Jackie?
And this next item, this policy, is being brought to you all by DPW to help us have clearly defined actions to take when we get requests from residents. The first request we get very frequently is the 3-way stop and 4-way stop. What we are recommending is that we follow the manual on uniform traffic control devices, put down traffic volume counters, and if it meets the national warrant, then we will get approval from the councilman in that respective district to put it on the next agenda. The speed limit reductions and the no parking sign installation, or any other regulatory sign for that matter, we would like that request to be accompanied with a petition in favor of the request, 75% of the residents addressed on the street, before we even look into doing an analysis on it. For example, speed limit reductions, again, that manual on uniform traffic control devices said you should look at the speeds from a speed study, use the 85th percentile speed to tell you what the speed limit should be. And it should be within 10 miles of that 85th percentile speed. We're asking for this policy to be our guidelines to move forward on requests, so we have a set policy for every district to follow. And I'd be happy to answer any questions about it. And we can modify it. It's obviously open for discussion. This is just our first try at it. And behind this is, just so you guys understand, all of the regulatory signs that's in that manual. I mean, there's a lot of different things that could be asked. So it's open for discussion.
Any discussion? Go ahead, Mr. Joseph.
Ms. Jackin, and we just got through talking about speed cushion. There's any way that, I know we don't have funding right now, but why do we don't put that in there just in case in the future we have established this rule? Although we don't have no funding, but at least we have it in black and white, the ruling of it. That's just a recommendation. I'm just.
And we can work on adding that and bringing it to you next month. I'm gonna tell you why I didn't do it. It's just like you all get inundated with requests. If I put it in here and I know we don't have the money to do it, we continually get inundated with requests, then I'm obligated to do this analysis on every request. You see where I'm going with that? It can become a cumbersome task because the requests were coming, at least one a day until we finally got the word out, well, we don't have the money for them, so we weren't taking any more requests. As soon as we say, well, here's our policy for speed cushion requests, we may open that door again. But I'll gladly write it up if you want.
No, just that's fine for me. The public know now why, and we got it out there verbally and on 21. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Councilman Law.
I like it. I think it brings some standardization to the process, and we'll hopefully get the communities involved in working on through some of their issues.
You want to
Make the motion to move forward to go to council.
move by Councilman Joseph,
Second.
second by Councilman Floor, move to full council. Any other discussion? None, motion passed. Number 8, resolution to accept the professional service. This is cleanup items. Go ahead, Ms. Jackie.
I'll explain these next three kind of in lump sum. In January, selection committee met. We created 3 advertisements for retainer contracts. The council awarded those contracts, and never in the motion did we say the amount. And so legal had us go back and put the amount. Now, I don't want the amount to scare everyone, so what I did is behind each resolution is a summary so you can see if, like let's just do this first one, SJB's retainer, not to exceed $100,000. The total work issued and planned at this point for the whole year is $37,000. But the retainers were advertised with amounts in them. And so I'm going back to clean up the item and have a motion that has an amount in it, not to exceed. We're asking your approval on this resolution.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Councilman Law,
Second.
second by Councilman Joseph. Discussion. Mr. Law.
So, Jackie, so even though we're putting in 100,000, you're saying, and the total work for the year planned is 37,000. If for some reason it needs, would you have to come back to us basically and explain the additional work?
What I plan to do all along with these retainer contracts, because this was new to me as well, is just give updates like, okay, here's a new task we're issuing for this amount, and then you'll get an update, okay, here's what we had expended to date, and here's what we're adding on. If that's acceptable, just continually give financial summaries as we add tasks.
That's good. I just didn't want to approve it and then not see it anymore.
Understand.
Okay.
Any other discussion? None, motion passed. Number 9.
This is the resolution accepting professional service selection committee recommendation to hire PSI to perform testing inspection service in amount not to exceed $200,000. And I just want to explain so you all know, this job, well, this retainer originally was intended to include a lot of services for LA 73's sewer work. So that's why the amount was set the way it was. But even given today's task issued to date and work planned for the rest of this fiscal year, the attached summary is $102,000. To date, we've only assigned $10,000 worth of work to them, though. And we're asking your approval of this resolution.
Motion.
Moved by Councilman Law, second by Councilman Joseph. Discussion. None, motion passed. Number 10.
This is a resolution accepting professional service selection committee recommendation to hire Bucart Horn to perform traffic services in amount not to exceed $150,000. Again, same situation. I've attached their task to date and what we have going right now with the roundabouts for them. And we're asking your approval on this resolution as well.
Motion.
Moved by Councilman Lowell, second by Councilman Joseph. Discussion? None, motion passed. Number 11, roads to accept into the parish maintenance system.
DPW is recommending acceptance of Creek Bend Drive in a length of 823 feet, and that's our only road for acceptance this month. We're in agreement with this recommendation.
Moved by Councilman Joseph, second
Second.
by Councilman Lowell. Discussion? None, motion passed. Number 12, motion by Councilman Joseph,
Second.
second by Councilman Lowell. Thank you. Adjourn.